Hey everyone, welcome back. We're the Filmsmiths. I'm Nick.
And I'm Zach.
Today we're going to talk to you about The Hobbit, the Battle of the Five Armies.
Also known as The Hobbit Part 3, Revenge of the Sith. Because Star Wars, trilogies.
Trilogies. Get it?
Films come out in trilogies now. So The Hobbit Part 3, also known as Battle of the Five Armies, is the third installment of the Hobbit trilogy.
Of the one Hobbit book.
Of the one book. They've turned 200 pages of book into 3 2.5-hour movies, so good on you, PJ. You're living the dream. Basically, because they've stretched it out so much, this is the conclusion of what's one big long movie, basically. You've got all the climax and epic fighting of one movie, but it's all in one. Packaged up for you nice and big.
A lot of people thought that the first two movies didn't have enough action. Well, don't you worry. Oh, we found all of the action. It's in this film.
It was hiding in the third one the whole time. Because that's really it. You know, like I said, if you look at the whole series as one big long movie, this is just the third act, which is always the big fight at the end, the battle. You know, those dwarves, they got back to the mountain, and now, you know, the dragon's gone. Spoiler alert, the dragon dies. That, you know, first 5 minutes of the film. And then the rest of that is all these armies. You got elves, you got orcs, they all want this mountain. It's got all this gold. And, you know, they all come together and fight it out, and it's this huge, epic battle, and, you know, that's what it is. And you can really tell it kind of is reminiscent of, like, the big, epic fights in the Lord of the Rings trilogies. It doesn't quite live up to that. It's definitely not the same, which there's really nothing wrong with that, you know. It's a different movie, it's a different series, but it's still, that doesn't mean that it's not a lot of fun and it's not great in its own right.
The first problem is when you're comparing anything to the Lord of the Rings trilogy that's a pedestal that you cannot climb up. It would be awesome if the entire Hobbit trilogy was on par with the Lord of the Rings trilogy, but that's just not going to happen. That does not mean that the Hobbit trilogy is bad. I know a lot of people have a lot of issues with it. I personally have enjoyed all 3 of the Hobbit films. Are they the Lord of the Rings? No. Are they still a lot of fun? Yeah. And I'll watch them.
If you can go into these movies and really divorce them from Lord of the Rings and just enjoy them on their own, they're great. They're a lot of fun. It's a good time. As somebody who's not super into blockbusters, this was probably not my favorite of the trilogy, but there's this one scene that really, like, my favorite scene in the whole trilogy. If there could be a movie just of the wizards of Middle-earth, like, I'd be super into that. So, you know, you got Gandalf, you know, he's
all beat up.
He's trapped where, you know, where he left him in the second movie, you know, fighting it out. And then, you know, right at the last moment, it looks like, oh, this is the end of Gandalf. All his wizard friends come in. You got Elrond, not technically a wizard, Saruman. You got our girl, Galadriel. They fighting it out.
They got some moves. I think this is the best choreographed fight, not only of this movie, but of this trilogy.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. In Christopher Lee, you know,
for being 800 years old,
boy,
he's still moving pretty good.
He is doing it.
Hugo Weaving, much less old, but still
doing it. And
Cate Blanchett.
Okay. So, a certain Dark Lord may or may not be back.
Not Voldemort.
Not Voldemort. It's the one from Lord of the Rings, you know.
Oh.
And, you know, it looks like he's about to, you know, kill them all, and then our girl Galadriel just puts the team on her back.
She says, no.
And it's to try to describe it with words is unfair because, boy.
You need to see it. I also just want to remind everyone of how terrific I think Martin Freeman has been as our beloved protagonist Bilbo Baggins.
Yeah.
I can't really think of anyone else who could do it justice like he has. I also can't say that I thought of him in the first place, but as soon as we started seeing footage of Martin Freeman as Bilbo, it can't go any other way.
He just crushed it. You crushed it, Marty. Way to go.
Way to go. So, like I said already, The Hobbit is no Lord of the Rings, but that's not something I'm trying to hold against it. I think all 3 of the films are very enjoyable, a lot of fun. I just love going back to Middle-earth every time I get the chance. It's still too fresh in my mind to be sure about it. At the moment, it's my favorite of the trilogy. It might not end up that way, but I think they're all pretty close in quality for me. I give The Hobbit a 6.5.
And I will give Battle of the Five Armies 5 armies.
And those 5 armies are?
You got dwarves, elves, you got orcs, you got humans, and Bilbo? Just doing it on his own?
Why not?
That's 5.
So if you saw The Hobbit Battle of the 5 Armies, let us know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave us a comment in the comment section below. You could social media at us. Our Twitter handles will be in the description box. You know, we like talking to you.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. If you got a movie that you want us to review, we'll do it.
Well, odds are we're definitely going to do it.
And we'll give you a shout out.
We will shout you out.
What's up, Stan?
We're waiting for you, Stan.
So, we're the Filmsmiths. I'm Zach.
I'm Nick.
See you next time.